Okay, now let's look at an example. Okay, Hebat Sdn Bhd produces 3 types of product A, B, and C. The total fixed cost for the company are 156,800 ringgit. So you have 3 products A, B, and C. This is the volume. You have 10,000 for A, 6,000 for B, and 4,000 for C. So the total is 20,000 units. You are being given the selling price per unit for each of the product. So this is the variable cost. If the question doesn't give you the contribution, you can always work out the contribution because contribution is the sales minus your variable cost. So what is it that you are required to do? So you are required to calculate the sales mix. Next, you are required to calculate the weighted average contribution margin. Next, you are required to determine the break-even point in units and in value. Next, the question asks you, what if the sales mix change to A 20%, B 30%, and C 50%? So what's the effect on your BEP? So is this situation good or not? And you are required to explain your finding. Okay, let's do one by one. First, let's do the sales mix. So sales mix is very easy. So let's look at the solution. So for sales mix, you just take the 10,000 divided by 20,000, the units, okay, unit produced. So let's look at the question again. So you just take the 10,000 for A divided by 20,000. So that is 50% for A. What about B? The 6,000 divided by 20,000, and C is 4,000 divided by 20,000. So that is your sales mix, 50% for A, 30% for B, and 20% for C. That is your sales mix. Total will give you 100%. Part B of the question required you to calculate the WACM. So weighted average contribution margin per unit, that will be 50% times the contribution of A, okay, 50, 30, and 20. So you already work out the contribution margin. If the question is silent, you can work out the contribution margin as sales minus your variable cost. In this case, you are being given the contribution margin per unit. So you take the 4, 10, and 24. So you work out the this one, 50% times 4 plus 30% times 10 plus 20% times 24. So you will get 9 ringgit and 80 cent per unit. That is the weighted average contribution margin. So to work out the BEP, that will be your total fixed cost divided by WACM. So given in the question, the total fixed cost is 156,800 ringgit divided by the WACM that you have just worked it out just now, the 9 ringgit and 80 cent per unit. So you will get 16,000 units. So this is your BEP in units for all the 3 products. If you want to know how much for each product, so according to the sales mix, the total of 16,000 units will be analyzed as follows. So that means you take the ratio, the sales mix just now. So for product A, it is 50%, B 30%, C 20% times the total units that you have, 16,000 units. That means you will have 8,000 units for A, 4,800 units for B, and 3,200 units for C. The total of this will give you 16,000 units. If you want to know how much is the value, you times with the selling price. So this one you take from the question just now. Selling price for A is 10 ringgit, for B is 20, and for C is 40. So 8,000 units times 10 give you 80,000. You do the same thing for B and the same thing for C. So the total is 304,000. So to work out the BEP, so the BEP is 16,000 units, and in value it is 304,000 ringgit. So to break even, the company must sell 8,000 units of A, 4,800 units of B, and 3,200 units of C, and make a total sales of 304 as your calculation, this one. Okay, so the BEP in value is 304,000. Alternatively, you can use the formula just now to work out the BEP in value. That will be your total fixed cost divided by your CS ratio. But in this case, because you have multi-products, that will be divided by your overall CS ratio. So the total fixed cost is 1,156,800. This one is given in the question. How do you get the overall CS ratio? The 0.515789, this one. Where do you get this? So this one, okay, how do you work out the overall CS ratio? You take the total sales, the divided by your total variable cost, that will give you your contribution. So this one, take from the question. How you work out this one? Total sales. Okay, I'll show you first the total sales. So total sales is this one. This one is from the question. You are being given the volume. You are being given the selling price per unit. So total sales for A will be 10,000 units times 10 ringgit per unit gives you 100,000 ringgit. You do the same thing for B, 6,000 times 20 and 4,000 times 40. So this one is your total sales, less your variable cost, or you can also straight away get the contribution. Okay, this one given in the question, the contribution is 4 ringgit per unit. So 4 ringgit times the 10,000 units, you will get 40,000. 6,000 units times 10 ringgit gives you 60,000, and 4,000 times 24 gives you 96. So this one is your total contribution, 196. So CS ratio will be total contribution divided by S, your sales, total sales. So that will be 196 divided by 380. Okay, so this one will be 196 divided by your 380. If you times it with 100, gives you 51.5789%. So you put into the formula the total fixed cost divided by your CS. Overall CS ratio will give you 304,000 ringgit again. Okay, you will get, either you do it this way or you can straight away using the formula to get your BEP in value. Okay, so the break-even point of 16,000 units is valid only for that particular sales mix. Okay, so if the 16,000 units are not, if 16,000 units are sold in any other mix, the company will not break even. So part D of the question requires you to work out what if the sales mix changes. Okay, so you have to work out. So in this case, the question asks you, what if the sales mix now change to 20%, 30%, and 50% for A, B, and C respectively? Okay, what's the effect on your BEP? Analyze whether this situation is good or not. Okay, so now part D of the question, you work out the new weighted average contribution margin. So 20, 30, and 50. You work out this one for the, this one is the contribution per unit for A, B, and C. Then you will get 15 ringgit and 80 cent per unit. So out of that, divided that with your total fixed cost. So total fixed cost divided by your WACM, you will get 9924 units. So this is your new BEP in units. Previously, you have 16,000. Now it reduces to 9924 units. Is this good? Is this not good? So if you reach your BEP earlier, that is a good indication. Why? Because you can reach your break-even point earlier. After that, you will enjoy the profit. So more quantity should be sold for the product that gives higher contribution, because you can see that products that contributes more, okay, that gives the highest contribution is product C. So product C contributes 24 ringgit per unit as compared to A, only 4 ringgit per unit. Now you are producing more of C. You are producing more of C. That means now you produce 50% of C. Okay, you produce 50%. This one, 50% of C. So the higher the contribution, So that will give you earlier. You can reach your BEP earlier. That's why your BEP now reduces to 9924 instead of 16,000 units. So 50% for product C as compared to the old mix of only 20% for product C. Okay. So that's the solution for your comprehensive example. Okay, hopefully you can differentiate between your single product and the multi-product. Okay, with that, I thank you.